The marathon as we know it today is over 120 years old, but there have been forms of long-distance races since the time of the ancient Egyptians. The first Olympic marathon was run from Marathon Bridge to the stadium in Athens, over a distance of 40 kilometers. A month before the Olympic race, a Greek championship event was held, in which 11 competitors ran from Marathon to Athens. This was the first ever marathon race. 2 weeks later, there was another, billed as an official trial and attracting 38 runners. The winner recorded 3 hours and 11 minutes and 27 seconds, and a water carrier named Lewis finished 5th in 3:18:27. On a separate occasion at that time, 2 women were also reported to have run from Marathon to Athens. 18 men lined up at the start of the first Olympic marathon on April 10, 1896. Of the 4 foreign runners, only Kellner, a Hungarian, had run the distance before as a time trial. The 3 others had run in the middle distances at the Games and were hoping to be lucky enough that they would stay on the course. The 3 foreign middle distance runners lasted surprisingly well, retiring at 23 kilometers, 32 kilometers, and 37 kilometers. Louise had taken the lead from the last of these, the Australian Edwin Flack at about 33 kilometers. Louise did not disappoint and led by a mile as he entered the stadium to win in a time of 2:58.50. Greeks took second and third until Kellner, who had come in fourth, protested that the third Greek had taken a ride, something that was becoming almost common practice. 9 runners finished the race. Within a year, on March 15, 1897, the first of the Boston Marathons was held. The race has been held every year since, except for 1918 when a military marathon relay substituted, making Boston the oldest marathon race in the world. The Franco-British exhibition was being held at the new White City Stadium in West London, where the Olympic marathon was to finish in front of the royal box from which Queen Alexandra would watch. Preserving the royal theme, the start was to be at the Windsor Castle. The length was fixed at 26 miles. A late request from the Queen to move the start back to the east lawn of the Windsor Castle, from where it could be seen by the royal children in the nursery, added a further 385 yards. Those 385 yards proved too much for the first over the finishing line, the Italian Pietri. He had ran a relatively steady race, although nearly all runners started off at a furious pace, the leader passing 10 miles within 57 minutes. By the last few miles, the pace of most runners was at least 2 minutes per mile slower. Shortly before entering the stadium, Pietri overtook the South African Charles, who had led the race from 15 miles. Catching the leader proved too much, and on the track Pietri staggered and fell 4 times before being assisted over the finishing line by race officials. The race was awarded to an American, Johnny Hayes, who finished without unfair assistance 32 seconds later. Distance stands today in metric form as 42,195 meters. Meanwhile, marathons continue to be ran at varying distances, the longest of which was probably the 1920 Olympic Marathon at 42,750 meters. Also, the marathon was more of a male event until one woman changed all of that.